Okay, next up was Tarleton State was picked 5th, and so we'll hear from head coach Cary Fowler. Coach Fowler's entering his 3rd year with the Texans, and they closed out the year on a strong note last year with a 5-game winning streak. Coach Fowler.
Thanks, Stan. I told our kids before we left, this has been a long time since we've got beat. So that 5-game winning streak was really special. It was really special for us, and I'm really excited about where we are. You know, we're in year 3 right now, and at some point, you know, you got to figure out what point are you not going to have to say that we're young. We are a very young football team, but on the flip side of that, the youthfulness of our team makes it a strength. A lot of those guys for many years now have played for us, and you know, that's a major strength. When we report to camp, 70 of our kids, of the 100 that report to camp for us, will be sophomore status or less. So that really excites me as the head coach to understand, you know, where our future is, and knowing some of the rules that have changed with the NCAA and the transfer rules coming out of junior college. It really kind of sets us up for what I think will be pretty good over the next few years, as we won't have to be looking and reaching those because we have some kids on campus that we're raising our own. You know, I feel like we got some strengths of our football team. I put them through probably one of the most brutal off seasons that as a coach that I've been through. I know on their end it was probably even more brutal. You know, we started off in the early mornings, practicing at 5 o'clock in the morning. We started most every one of our spring practices and pads, and even scrimmages. Our kids were reporting to the training room at 4:45 a.m. And we went the entire semester, or during the spring practice area, went that whole entire time, and we didn't have one kid late at 4:45 reporting to the training room. So the commitment that those kids are showing to us has been phenomenal. And you know, that's, you know, usually if you start early in the morning, sometimes you wonder, you know, what direction would that go? But you know, they made a commitment this summer that you know, we've got over 70 kids on campus right now, and you know, they're out there. We got some veterans that are on our team that are leading them, and you know, they got position drills, and they're coaching each other, they're teaching each other. It's phenomenal. I guess in a few days they'll get screwed up, and actually the real coaches get to go out there and coach them, because they're probably doing better without us right now. But I'm really excited about the team. I'm really excited about this team that we got to take the field this year. Probably the weakness of our team is our youth. I mean, we make mistakes at some times that in certain situations that hurt, and we've got to learn to. Even though we're young, we've got to learn not to make young mistakes. And I think that's a point of emphasis going into camp that we're going to make is we're not going to make, you know, we're going to hone in on those young mistakes. You know, we led the league in penalties, but when you lead the league in penalties, you have to go back and look and see what it was. And it was the youthful mistakes that we were making. It was jumping off sides. It was lining up in the neutral zone. I mean, heck, we kicked the ball out of bounds 8 times. I asked our kickers, I said, somebody go hit you in the head with a hammer? I mean, nobody's there to even hit you. Just kick the ball down the middle of the field. We made those kinds of mistakes, and Coach, you know, anytime you're starting at the 40 in this league with the offense, those mistakes can't happen, and that's where our penalties were. You know, it wasn't on the other end, and we've got to get better in those areas. Defensively, we returned 9 starters. You know, we lost Logan Johnson, who was a great player, a pass rusher for us, and but you know, most everybody is coming back. You know, up front, we returned. You know, we got 4 defensive tackles that I really like. Brian Ford, who's been a great player for us. Chase Bowers. We got a Samoan kid in named Ronnie Samoa that is a tremendous football player. Went off spring with us. And, you know, Juan Gonzalez, who was a freshman, has really come on. I really like that. I like Rufus Johnson at defensive end, and we probably have, it's probably our deepest position is defensive end. You know, I really like defensively where we're at. And there's not a lot of seniors up there. You know, there's a couple, you know, I think there's 3 seniors, but we probably have 15 kids that can travel with us on the defensive line, and that's something that's exciting. Linebackers, we return everybody at the linebacker position with Marquise Wiley coming back as an All-American, and then Matt Nickey, who's been a player in this league for a long time. And some of those guys that are veterans are going to have a hard time starting, because we had a kid come on named Mark Martinez out of Waco Midway that beat all those kids out in the spring. So I'm really, and you know, that makes it, when you got a guy that's been up from all conference and they're fighting for positions on your defense, that's something that's exciting for us. At defensive back, every one of them come back. Deshaun Phillips is an All-American corner, and Larry Johnson, who's been with us for 5 years, and probably the best defensive player we have on our team is Des Jackson, transferred from the University of Oklahoma, and having him back, that helps because he's probably the smartest player that I've ever been around, and having Des out there will be good. Offensively, wide receiver returned 3,800 yards and 20 touchdowns over their careers. So we've got a lot of guys that will come back offensively in the receiving corps, and we just got to find somebody to get it to them. We got 2 kids that run 10-5 out there at wide receiver, and we got Jaquin Fry back that our first year caught over for 700 yards. We had hip surgery last year, missed the entire season, so getting him back with Clifton Rhodes, and I brought Arthur Buckingham with me today, and what a great player you've been at Tarleton. And some of those guys have seen him make great catches in the fourth quarters, and Brangus and come from behind wins. He's been the holder, and will be finishing his master's degree this semester. He's been a great guy to have on and his senior leadership has been phenomenal. Running back, we got a kid named Jerome Regal back that was played for us as a freshman. I think at Midwestern he had over 100 yards in the fourth quarter. Had some issues, had to leave the team last year. Go back and take care of his family, and that was really, we really missed him. But he got things going on with it, helping his mom and that situation back home. Having him back, we got 4 backs that we had a kid named Savion Washington, we redshirted, and Von Smith, and we signed a kid named Josh Reed. So we got 4 backs that I think can help us, and Jerome probably being the leader of those guys right now. Offensive line, a year ago I stood up here and there was 15 total starts between them. This year there's 42. So up front we got some guys that were some freshmen. I brought Adrian Campbell with us, and Adrian graduated in December and went part-time in the spring. We're getting him back, and as an all-conference player and a great big man like him, it's good to have him out there and his leadership. But we got a lot of young kids offensively. I don't really know who the quarterback's going to be. Right now it's Aaron Dull. Aaron's been with us now for 3 years. He's taking every snap for us in spring football practice. Aaron's a 6'2", 220-pound kid that can run 4.4. He hadn't taken a lot of snaps. He's got hurt against Northeast Louisiana a couple years ago, but we've got 2 young dandies now. One of them will be playing tonight in the All-Star game for the North team. We got 2 young dandies that I really like that can bring a light for us. And the big thing we've got to do is we got to get better in the kicking game. We lost several games, missing field goals at the end of the year, so we've got to get better than that. But all in all, we all got a hard schedule. We're playing the teams out of the South. We're playing each other. It's not going to get any easier, but it prepares us for the national championship. Whoever's going to come out of this league should have a great shot at winning it. But I really like my football team to try to come out of it.